Swamp dangerous. Um, Texas A&M. Coach Mike Elko's alma mater, where last year he
That's
came off a
it.
8-5, 5-3 season. If it wasn't for y'all, they would have been played in the SEC championship game. But hey, y'all beat them head to head 17. I still can't believe that game was only 17-7. That pisses me off. But it's really not even y'all fault for real. It's their fault because there's no way in HE double hockey sticks they should have lost to Auburn. You lose to Auburn in 6 overtimes with that defense is crazy. You actually deserve not to play in that championship. So never mind. I take that back. It's not your fault. It's Texas A&M fault. Beat Auburn. Um, they did lose the Vegas Bowl to USC 35-31, but they returned 15 starters, man. They returned 15 starters, which I believe is the most in the SEC. 7 on offense, 8 on defense. Now, I'm not the biggest Marcel Reed guy. I am not. I can
But
acknowledge he's a dual threat guy. Oh, this is the but. He's a dual threat guy, but if you make him have to pass the ball, it gets a little dicey for me. At least in my opinion, it gets a little scary. Um, he went 147 to 240, 61.3% completion percentage, 1,864 yards, and 15 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. But he had 547 yards on the ground and 7 rushing touchdowns. They really returned Le'Veon Moss, Amari Daniels, and Reuben Owens. But their main guy is Le'Veon Moss. 121 carries, 765 yards, 6.3 a carry. Excuse me, and 10 rushing touchdowns. They returned all 5 of their O linemen as well. So they get their quarterback, the running back, and all 5 O linemen. So that's one reason why I'm super high on Texas A&M. Then defensively, they bring back the guy who sent Luther Bird in a blanket and said, "Get ready to be covered all day," and then strapped him. The blanket Will Lee, one of the best corners in the country. 42 total tackles, 39 solos, 10 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, pick 6, and a forced fumble. Des Ricks, another cornerback, 20 total tackles, 17 solos, 2 pass breakups, and an interception. Marcus Radcliffe, a safety, 48 total tackles, 28 solos, 3 interceptions, and a forced fumble. Dalton Brooks, 59 total tackles, 38 solos, a sack, 2 pass breakups, and an interception. Torian York, a linebacker, 82 total tackles, 35 solos, 2.5 sacks, 4 pass breakups, an interception, and fumble recovery. Scooby Williams, I think I said him already. No, I didn't. Scooby Williams, linebacker, 42 total tackles, 23 solos, 4 pass breakups, interception, fumble recovery. Bryce Anderson, safety, 24 total tackles, 16 solos, 2 pass breakups, an interception, and a touchdown. And Albert Regis, defensive tackle with 36 total tackles, 16 solos, half a sack, and 6 pass breakups. They lose Noah Thomas at receiver. They actually lost their receiving core for real.
Mm-hmm.
At 39 catches, 874 yards, and 8 touchdowns, who transferred to Georgia. Jabri Barber came from Troy. He had 38 catches, 381 yards, and 2 touchdowns. This is a big loss in my opinion. I'm actually still surprised he didn't get drafted in the first round. He came in with like top 10, projected top 10 pick out of Purdue. And I thought he played pretty well throughout the season. But Nick Scorton, 37 total tackles, 27 solos, 5 sacks, 2 pass breakups, and a forced fumble. I believe he even led Texas A&M in sacks. But he went, I think, second round to the Panthers. Shamar Turner, defensive tackle, 36 total tackles, 20 solos, 2 sacks, pass breakup, and a forced fumble, went to the Bears. And almost allegedly returning Shamar Stewart, edge rusher who had 31 total tackles, 14 solos, a sack and a half, 2 pass breakups, and a forced fumble, who had that huge contract thing with the Bengals, but is now currently signed. So, but yeah, they were 10th overall in recruiting class, 11th in transfers. Talk to me about Texas A&M, Joe.
All right, Texas A&M, like you said, defensively they'll be good. Now outside of Reed, how you feel about the secondary? Before I go,
Like I said, one of the best in the country.
Okay, all right. Now, I think the D line is really good. I mean, you said the whole defense, right? So the defense is gonna be good. But what I like about them offensively is they do have a top offensive lineman, Amaj Reed Adams. They say he's a top run blocker, one of the top run blockers in the country. Okay. The offensive line period is one of the best also, and they are a heavy dose running team.
Yeah, they got a trio of backs.
Yeah, I mean, you could a quarterback too.
No, and that's without including Marcel Reed.
No, I'm saying if you include it's more than a trio, and you include Kevin Concepcion, also the slot receiver who also can get the ball and overspread like far as running the ball. So they can be super dynamic running the ball with that offensive line. But like you said, when it comes to forcing them to throw the ball. That's when the problems are going to come when it comes to this team. But there are another team. There are multiple teams in this conference where they can be anywhere to 5 to 9 wins for real. And I think Texas A&M is one of them.
Yeah, so you are absolutely right. The trio of running backs that I brought up earlier is like phenomenal when they got that great O line to run behind. And then you bring in the dual threat of Marcel Reed. And I'm glad you brought up the KC Concepcion get because that was huge. Um, that's so big, and I hope he helps Marcel Reed in the passing game because he was at NC State just rotting away. Like he was so talented, especially his freshman year. But he had Brennan Armstrong, who was a shell of himself, and then Grayson McCall, who medically retired from football, which was sad because he was so good at Coastal, but it just went bad. So he had to leave, and I'm glad he came here. I think this is going to be huge for Casey Concepcion. If he can ball in the SEC, I think he'll get his name into more households than it should already be in. And then TJ Searcy off the edge is good because they need to replace the edge replacement lost by Shamar Stewart and Nick Scorton. And TJ Searcy could be the Nick Scorton of this year, who had 3 sacks for Florida. But another huge get, and I think this will really help Marcel Reed a ton, is Amari Neblack, the tight end.
Mm.
He came from Bama. He came from y'all as well. So he went from Texas to Bama, and at Texas was his best year, 20 catches, 327 yards, 4 touchdowns. And I think he went from Texas to Texas A&M, which honestly is very taboo because Texas and Texas A&M are huge rivals. Like this rivalry is now being renewed now that y'all both are in the SEC. It was lost when Texas A&M left the Big 12 to go to the SEC. Now that y'all are there, this rivalry is renewed. So for him to do that is kind of crazy. But I think that's a huge get for Texas A&M nonetheless. I am super high on them defensively, especially if they can put pressure on the quarterback like they did last year. Like I said, Mike Elko, he's a defensive coach. He's going to draw it up. He's going to have great game plans defensively. Reed just got to figure it out offensively throwing the ball. And I think Neblack and Casey Concepcion helps him out a ton. They were 49th in total offense, 63rd in total defense, tied 87th in passing, 26th in rushing, 50th in scoring offense, 90th in passing defense, 42nd in rushing defense, 35th in scoring defense. If you want, we could talk. Well, if you're ready, we could talk about the schedule.
Let's get it.
So they play against UTSA. And I like UTSA, but this is a win.
I got this as a win too.
Then they play Utah State. I had this as a win.
Same.
Shout out Coach Mendenhall. Ooh, I think I just got my last team for the 10 teams to look out for. Next is at Notre Dame. I have as a loss.
I do too.
Then at home against Auburn, I have as a win.
Same.
At home against Mississippi State, win.
Same.
At home against Florida, I have as a win.
I do too.
On the road against Arkansas, I have as a win.
I do too.
On the road against LSU, I have as a loss.
Same.
At home, on the road against Wisconsin, I have as a win. I said Wisconsin, Mizzou.
Oh yeah,
It's late, bro. It's 2:15. Wisconsin. That's Mizzou.
I was like, did I make a mistake? I got this as a loss. You said a loss?
I said win.
Okay, I got this as a loss.
South Carolina at home, I have as a win.
Oh yeah, you did say that. I got this as a loss.
And then Sanford at home, I have as a win.
W.
And then at Texas, huge rivalry game, I have as a loss.
Loss.
I have Texas A&M going 9-3, 6-2.
7-5, 4-4.
Oh, because we differ. No.
South Carolina and Missouri.
But that's only 2 games. And really, it's only 1 because you got them winning against. No, you have them. I don't know. Oh, yeah, okay.
Now we got everything identical except for those 2.
Yeah, I got them. Yeah, I'm really high. I have the over 7.5 win total. You got the under by the hook.
Yeah, I know you prefer 8-4 because you want South Carolina to win that game.
Yeah, I do want South Carolina to win. But, I mean, that's just tough going in the cow field. I know how tough that environment. Not off personal experience. I ain't never been. But, man, I see it on TV. It look crazy. And then, like, yeah, it's crazy.
Thank
thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.